over your life. Amen? Authority, folks. And so when you begin, as we go through this message, I want you to begin to think about some of the people that's trying to feed you. Because everybody here is being fed by somebody. I tell you that right now. You can tell me, no, Pastor, I'm feeding everybody. No. There's some table that you are sitting at today. You might not be there today because you're sitting in the seat. But other than today, Monday through Saturday, you are sitting at somebody's table and they're trying to feed you something. They're trying to bring you drink. Because you know why they're trying to do it? Because see, the king had this vision. The vision was, if I can just feed him long enough, after 3 years, he will serve me. He will serve me. He will serve me. See, the king had motives. He had a hidden agenda that he said, if I can just get you to eat this, then maybe I can get you to serve me. Sounds like the enemy in John 10:10, doesn't it? What does John 10:10 say? The thief comes to what? Steal, kill, and destroy. But I came that you may have life and have more abundant. So what the enemy does is he's not going to really come out and go steal your car and just get in your car right away. He's not going to take a machete and stab you to death and kill you. He's not going to break this building down and just destroy you. The enemy does it very subtle and sly and conniving. The Bible calls him crafty as he slithers through the garden. As he slithers through your life, he doesn't literally set it up so you can see that he's killing you. You just look around one day and you see things falling off and you see things happening to you and you don't even know when it started. All you know is that your heart is breaking and you say, my God, what's happening? The enemy is very subtle in his approach and he hides behind things and covers up so you can't see his real agenda. And the only time you know that he's there is when you look around and you see all hell breaking loose, my God, and you see everything happening in your life that you did that you don't want to happen, and you know the enemy is present, but by that time it's too late. Amen. And so the king acts as an enemy this morning. I want you to see this enemy because what he is doing is very sly and cunning. And if you just look at this text from the surface level, you won't even see what the king is doing. Now, I'm going to prove to you that it's very sly and subtle because the whole purpose of bringing these men in was to what? Serve. Amen. Why did he bring them? He said, because what? He wanted them to serve. Amen. And so what does food got to do with serving? Oh, God, here. Let's get back over here. Let's look at this real fast, okay? Let's go back in 7 and see if I can find that. Because I don't want you to see y'all. Go back up to 6. It's somewhere up in here. Here we go. Go right there. No, go there. And the king appointed to them daily provisions of king's delicacies and wine which he drank, and 3 years of training for them, so that at the end of the time they might serve. Now, wait a minute now. If I was going to bring people in to serve here at this church, what does food got to do with serving? Why do I have to eat something in order to be a great servant? See, you have to read these scriptures and tear them apart so you can understand that the enemy is cunning and crafty, and everything he does for a reason. And it's not just that he wanted to feed them, but he was trying to get something inside of them, amen? And so when we look at it, we say, if I really wanted to train people in this room, I don't have to feed you to train you, amen? If I really want to train you, if I really want to get you to the next level, I can bring leaders in, we'll do leadership tapes, my God. I can take you through all types of training to train your mind and your intellect and your heart and your will towards God to see where your heart is. What does food got to do with it? But the king knew something, my God. See, you got to hang with me. We're going on a journey, amen. Say amen. We're going on the journey. And so the king knew something. The king said, you know, I'm more interested in just getting you to eat something. Because if I get you to eat it, now I've got the power and authority over your life. See, it's not when you desire it that gets you. It's not when you meditate on it that gets you. It's not when you think of it and you wish you could have it that gets you. It's when you begin to eat. When you take that first bite, my God, something happens in you and you don't even realize that something is happening because you just thought you was eating. You thought you were just eating good. I'm pretty sure he had some good food there, amen. He was the king anyway. He had the best of the best. But I'm telling you something, that what he was trying to feed him was going to set Daniel into a world of turmoil for the rest of his life. And so Daniel looked at that and said, my God, I'll show you that Daniel knew this. Go down in 8. I'm going to prove this to you, then I'm going to take you on the journey. But Daniel purposed in the heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king. Look what he says. Daniel doesn't even talk about the leadership training that he was sent there to do anyway. The first thing he mentions is the king's food. He knew that the power was in what he ate, not what he was there to do. He knew the king was there to try to feed him something. And so when Daniel talks, he said, I don't want to eat the food from the man, because if I eat it, that's when I'm going to get messed up. He said, something in me is going to be defiled. Somebody say defiled. And so what we need to watch this morning is what we're eating, because what we're eating is producing something. So let's just talk about what we're eating, because see, Daniel, he had something. He had this thing in his heart, and he knew it wasn't wise for him to eat. My God, he knew that the king was up to something when he was trying to feed him every day. Every day. Have you ever seen the enemy try to feed you every day? Every day he got something for you. He said, you know what? I know yesterday, I sent her. But you know what? I got something else for you, because I see you. It didn't get you where you needed to get, where I wanted. So he'll feed you something else. And every day he'll have a diet for you if you bite into it. I mean, he'll orchestrate a whole diet for you to eat every day, because his whole job is to get you to serve him at the end. And so he'll feed you daily. Come on. Somebody's getting fed in here right now. Yeah. Some of you right now sitting there thinking, my God, that's me. Every day I can see the enemy feeding me something, or me eating something that I should not be eating. And so the king is feeding you, and he has authority over your life, and you wonder why life is chaotic, and why you're confused and bothered and irritated and aggravated and frustrated and everything else you can be, because you are eating something that God did not call you to eat. And so Daniel knew. He said, it's not good for me to eat this food. Look at your neighbor and say, it's not good for me to eat this food. Oh, y'all eating something. Y'all don't want to tell me that y'all eating it, but that's okay. It's not good for you. Let me give you the definition of defile, because I want to run this down, because I want you to see this. Amen? Ooh, we going somewhere. Y'all going to be so blessed by the time we finish this thing. Now watch this. The definition of defile: to make unclean or impure, to corrupt the purity or perfection, to violate the chastity, to make physically unclean, especially with something unpleasant or contaminating. And so Daniel said, I don't want to make what God has made pure unclean. I don't want this thing to be defiled. I don't want to make it physically contaminated. See, when you partake of something, you literally contaminate yourself. Amen. You literally allow something to come in that doesn't agree with what God has designed you to have in you. And that's why it becomes chaotic, because what you are putting in your body, God said you shouldn't be putting in your body. And what you are eating, God said you shouldn't be eating. I'm going to prove that to you now. Let's go over to Genesis, and I want to show you that there is a process. There's a process that happens to people who eat stuff that they shouldn't be eating. See, Daniel had limitations in his life. And some of you don't have any limitations. Some of you don't have any boundaries. You just go to church. But I'm going to tell you something. If you are a real Christian and you know yourself really well, you'll have all types of limitations and boundaries. Because you know we have the tendency to eat anything that looks good to us. Amen? I said we have the tendency to eat anything that looks good to us. Amen? Oh my God, I'm in the wrong place. I better go down to the Baptist. Wait, hold on. Because I know this is true, because I know preachers, and even myself, as I was as a Christian and walking with God, I knew that even then when I was walking with God, that there was things that the enemy would place there, and you would look and say, oh, no, not me. Oh, no, not me. I wouldn't do that. And you just say, somehow or another, you find yourself easing on over there to take a peek at what something could be, and possibly just get